What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David, your spiritual awakening coach, here to help you through your spiritual awakening. I get a lot of questions from you guys that are struggling with the law of attraction because there seems to be these two conflicting theories. One is that you need to really focus hard on what you want to attract it in, and then the other is that you have to let it go and detach from outcomes so that you don't block it. Now, this can be a struggle with anything in life, not just the law of attraction, because we have a tendency to really want something so hard that we block it. But how do you want something but detach from it at the same time so that you still get it? So again, if you're watching this video because you're struggling with the law of attraction, or you're just having trouble attracting what you want in general into your life, I think that this video will be key in learning how to attract what you want, but still be able to let it go so that you still receive it. So how do we do that? Well, let's get into it right now. Let's go. So how do you use the law of attraction to get what you want, but still let it go and detach from outcomes so that you don't block it? By feeling worthy of what you want. You guys have heard me say in many past videos that whenever you put something up on a pedestal, you're energetically saying, I am lower than that thing. I am incomplete without that thing. I will not be happy unless I have that thing. Now, do you believe that spirit can be incomplete, unworthy, or imperfect? Of course not. And what's your identity again? Oh yeah, a spiritual eternal being having a temporary physical experience. So if you are a fractal of source having a temporary physical experience, how could you ever be unworthy or incomplete? And this is where the shift in your subconscious identity needs to take place. It's your subconscious identity that attracts its physical equivalent into your experience. When you desperately want something, you're simultaneously saying, I don't have it, which keeps you standing in the vibration of its absence. So you're keeping that frequency of lack and incompleteness alive in your frequency, which can match you to a parallel reality that's a vibrational match to lack and incompleteness. So how do we get out of the vibration of the absence of what we want? By becoming what we want. So one of my favorite spiritual teachers, Michael Beckwith, says, you can't keep what you're not willing to become vibrationally. Let that sink in. You can't keep what you're not willing to become vibrationally. And then he goes on to say, yes, you can manipulate energy temporarily to get things, but it will only be short term if there's no vibrational congruence there. So you have to self-identify as the physical walking embodiment of abundance itself. Self-identify as the physical embodiment of love itself. Self-identify as the epitome of absolute health. So how can you be incomplete without something if you already are that thing? Remember, opposing frequencies can't share the same space. So if you identify as never being able to find a long-term relationship, for example, then you can't share the same space with finding a long-term relationship. Those are two opposing frequencies, one of completeness versus incompleteness. So if you don't identify as whole and complete on a subconscious level, you can't share the same vibrational space with that. Now, this is not to say that it's not spiritual to have wants and desires. We all do. It's part of the human experience. But think of that want as the initial spark that activates the frequency of that thing in your timeline. And notice I use the word initial and not perpetual, meaning you don't perpetually want something. Once you give birth to the desire, then you just release it and stay in what I like to call a state of grateful completion. What the heck is that? Well, you give thanks that it's already done, basically. So when you give thanks that it's already done, your brain stamps it as done. Past tense. It doesn't allow the ego to jump in with its self-sabotaging questions of worthiness and deserving Did you pass some cosmic test? Have you been naughty or nice? No, none of that nonsense. You give thanks that you've already received it, and then you stay open in a flow state of allowing and take inspired action when the universe shows up with those synchronicities that are in alignment with the thing that you want. Now, notice I said inspired action, not busy work. Where does busy work come from? The mind, ego. Remember, the ego is all about control. When the ego doesn't know how you're going to get something, it will send you on a wild goose chase to find out how you're going to do something. Once the ego knows the how, then it feels like it's back in control. Well, hang on a second. Dial back that divine masculine energy, which energetically resides in your mind, and turn up that divine feminine energy, which energetically resides in your heart, and put you more in a state of allowing. Once you dial back that divine masculine energy, you stop trying to control everything. You stop trying to control the hows. Control is the game of the ego. It's not the game of the universe. Another spiritual teacher that I like, Mike Dooley, he says, the cursed hows are the domain of the universe. So in other words, trust the universe and leave the cursed hows, I like to call them the blessed hows, to the universe, because the universe has an infinite number of channels to bring into your physical experience your vibrational match. And what is the vibrational match that you're supposed to self-identify as? Well, having already received it. Now, when I say let it go and trust the universe, I want to be clear, I'm not saying to sit back and wait for it to fall out of the sky into your lap. Remember, I just said take inspired action. But how will you know what is inspired action and what is just busy work coming from the ego? Well, you want to bring your conscious awareness to your heart space, which is where that divine feminine energy, that allowing energy resides. You can even place your hand on your heart to bring your conscious awareness there. And then you want to intuit that answer or that action that you're supposed to take, and then act on that intuition, which can then set a chain of events in motion orchestrated by the universe to bring into your physical experience what you're wanting. Remember, spirit, source, the universe, whatever label we're wanting to put on it, is never rushed, hurried, frantic, or running out of time. If that's the energy surrounding what you're wanting, then that's definitely coming from ego, which is a very strong signal of lack and incompleteness, which can then act like a magnet in your physical reality. Now, it's okay to have very specific goals about what you want, but what I've discovered is when you self-identify as abundance, for example, you don't necessarily need to sit there and itemize out what abundance would look like for you, right? So, the new car, the job promotion, the bigger house, the trip to Barbados. When abundance is your identity, not something separate from you that you have to bring in, because abundance is an energy current. It's not a finite number of things or dollars. But when abundance is your identity, you now allow the universe to bring its definition of abundance into your timeline, because abundance is abundance, birds of a feather, right? And I can assure you that the universe's definition of abundance is much greater than your mind's limited definition of abundance, because the universe is omni-consciousness versus your mind, which is more localized to your specific personal experience. So the universe knows about all of the symbiotic relationships that would be benefited from you receiving this abundance that you're not able to perceive from your limited space. Now, in the case of using the law of attraction to attract love, if you're not attracting the people that you want for a long-term relationship, are you self-identifying as perfect, whole, and complete? Are you self-identifying as the physical embodiment of love itself? If you're not, how are you going to share the same vibrational space with that? If you're complaining about the people that you are attracting, then you're blaming the effect. You're not examining the cause. Energy never lies. So when you want to share the same vibrational space with something, you want to view it from the perspective of just sharing the same space with an extension of yourself, because you self-identify as that thing. The law of attraction and how to let go. So We're going to use a GPS system to navigate the universe. So this can really kind of bring it home for you here. Whenever you want to get somewhere, but you don't know how to get there, what do? You plug in the address into the GPS and you fully expect to get there. So you set it and forget it, fully expecting that the GPS, the universe in this case, will take care of all the hows, right? The turns and the on-ramps. The universe will take care of the hows, and you just fully expect to get there. So, how do you let go when using the law of attraction? Set it and expect it. Now, question of the day. How do you focus on what you want and still detach from it at the same time so that you don't block it? Ooh, let me know how my master manifestors out there in the Light Fam community are doing this amazing law of attraction technique. Oh, by the way, I'm trying out this whole TikTok craze. It's growing followers left and right. It's really fun little 15-second, 30-second, 20-second videos. I think you guys really like it. Give me a follow. Lightways555 is my username. If you need a helping hand attracting what you want, building the life of your dreams, we can work together one-on-one through Zoom. Check the description for that. If you have a question for me, add me over on Instagram _Lightways. Until next time, I will see all of my beautiful Light Fam in the next video. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.